Hi, this is Todd. I wanted to make sure you are aware of a couple of new updates related to the software. Under your Calculators tab, as many of you know from a web standpoint, we have about 40 web calculators, and we've been migrating over some of the most popular calculators so they're available whether you're online or offline. We've rearranged a couple of the calculators to make them a little bit easier to access. And I wanted to point out, again, the ordering of the calculators and a couple of the new calculators that we've added. The difference between the calculators and the actual mortgage planning tool itself is obviously with the mortgage planning tool you're doing more of a deep dive. You're going in and creating an actual plan for the client. Calculators, we're assuming that you're simply answering a question that a client may have in a specific situation. So one of the new calculators we have, it's our first calculator now in the series, is called Mortgage Payment Schedule Calculator. And what it allows you to do is create a nice amortization schedule based on the client's situation. So I'm going to go in here and we'll just say the principal balance of this loan is $200,000. The current interest rate is 6%. They currently have a 30-year AM. Let's say this loan started in January of 2010. And I can choose to say yes or no, that I'd like to show the full amortization table. And then on top of that, now I could just stop here, and if I click the calculate button, what it's going to do is run out for me a full amortization table of that loan all the way through to the very end. Show me the date that it's paid off. It'll give me a quick summary of the payment, the total interest paid, the interest, and things like that, if there's any interest savings relative to that transaction. You can copy and paste this, put it right into an Excel spreadsheet if you'd like to do that for your client. You can also print it by clicking the print button here up in the top right. But what I want to also point out is with this particular AM schedule, and the reason we put it here as the first calculator, I can also go in and put in monthly, annual, biweekly, one-time payments. So I could say I'd like to do a one-time prepay, and I'd like that one-time prepay to be after 36 months, and I'd like for it to be for $10,000. So a lot of flexibility here. Say that the client knew they were going to be receiving a gift of $10,000 in 3 years, and they just wanted to see what would happen if they were to apply that towards the mortgage. You can see here the mortgage balance over the first 3 years suddenly drops here in that fourth year. And I can go to the bottom and see what that actually does. It pays off in 2032. So it's going to take 6.33 years off the mortgage, saving an average of $261 a month. This will also go through and show you the total interest savings over $94,000 over that time period. So a lot of flexibility. One of the things as a best practice that we've heard folks doing recently is taking the monthly or taking the interest savings over the life of the loan and then breaking that down now and saying that's like saving $261.19 a month. Using that as a target savings rate for the person to begin saving or investing or using that towards prepaying other debts. So if you knew that you were going to save the client $41,000 over the next 10 years, that's like $4,000 a year or a little over $300 a month. What if we went ahead and now that we know we've got that kind of savings to work with, what if we went ahead and started taking advantage of that savings today on a monthly basis to begin building some additional wealth? So just another way to think about how you interpret the plan information or, again, using the tools. Our second calculator is the What's Missing tool. It's just solving for a specific field that's missing. Our prepay or invest is the same, and our payoff or keep a loan is the same as before. We had a prepayment calculator that was designed for just prepaying a mortgage. We've added a new prepayment calculator. This one's a little bit different, and it allows you to say put in a loan amount. Let's say you owe $200,000, and that mortgage rate is 6%, and it's a 30-year note. What's different about this is I can say, I'd like for this to pay off in 20 years. And I can click Calculate Now, and it's going to say, your current payment's $11.99. To pay it off in 20 years, you'd have to pay $1435.97 a month. Several folks have asked for just a simple, quick, easy way to calculate the extra amount they'd have to pay and what would that savings look like. Another way to do that is instead of length of years, I can just set my payment. I'd just like to pay $2,000 a month. That's what I can afford. This will say, hey, your payment was going to be this. It's now going to be $2,000. You're paying an extra this. Your debt can be paid off in 62 months, saving you total interest of $152,923. So again, a new, very simple very powerful prepayment calculator to work through scenarios with your client. You can use either this one, which allows you to put in different interest rates or biweekly or prepayments and create tables, or this one, which provides more of a quick summary based on a desire to put in a certain loan amount or a certain term. Another new calculator, is our mortgage qualifying calculator. What this allows you to do is just a great tool for maybe a realtor you work with or someone who wants to have access to this. Let's just say that the monthly mortgage payment, principal and interest, is going to be around $2,000. Property tax annual around $3,000. Monthly mortgage. Annual home insurance, let's just say that's going to be $1,000. Expected other monthly debt payment, let's say you have $1,000 of the debts, couple auto loans. You want to buy a house for $250,000, and you'd like to put $50,000 down. When I click the calculate button, it's going to go through and say your total monthly payment now is around $2,333. This is your total with your debt. At 20%, 28% qualifying income, you'd need around $100,000. At 36%, around $111,000. So for you, you want to look at a qualifying income around $110,000 to $111,000. It'll even go through and do an estimate of PMI. So it'll go through and it'll help someone to get a quick feel for what kind of income they would need based on their current situation. So it's kind of like a mini pre-qual calculator, but it can help to answer some questions. It's going to be a good tool to show realtors how to use if you're providing realtors you work with access to the software. And the net cost of borrowing is something that we had previously, and so that remains. So we've got three new calculators here: mortgage qualifying income, the new prepayment calculator, and the new mortgage payment calculator. We have one more that should be showing up in a couple of days. It's a savings calculator that allows you to show compounding and cash accumulation as well. So hopefully these will be a welcome addition to the tools that you're already using. We've added some other features and benefits you may have seen that will be coming out in a separate recording series teaching you how to use the repayment strategies and some of the new report capabilities that we added in our last release. Hope you have a wonderful day and talk to you soon. This is Todd signing off.